One of the major questions that I get every semester is, Kyle, how do I prepare better for homework assignments and for exams? And there's really a couple basic things that really need to be done. First, I would highly recommend going and looking at the super basic ideas, which are going to be covered already in the syllabus in that How to Be Successful section. Those are really important yet simple ideas for how you can put yourself in a good position to do well in the class. Now, some other things that I'm going to recommend will be first pertaining to homework. How do I do well on homework assignments? Well, the first thing's pretty obvious. If the homework assignment is due on Monday at 11:59 p.m., don't start it on Monday morning. There's a reason why I'm giving you multiple days to try to work through it. And part of that is so that you have time to think about what you're going to write, to ask questions, to carefully make sure that you are convinced that you have the right answer and that you can convince me. But in addition to that, it gives you lots of time to practice with the worksheets along the way, so you can feel very confident that you know that you're doing the work correctly. That's really the key. Are you doing those worksheets? By doing as many and pretty much all the worksheet questions that you can, that's going to make the homework assignments much, much easier. Now, in terms of preparing for exams, one of the things that I recommend is going underneath the appropriate exam folder and taking a look at the exam study guide. Now, the study guide here isn't going to be a set of practice problems. You already have that with all the worksheets and all the homework assignments. But what it is going to give you is first a basic layout of what the exam's going to look like, even a little bit about what to expect on the exam. Like on exam 1, there are going to be some true-false questions and some free response questions. I will be asked to use the definition of the derivative to find the derivative of a function, right? So I'm telling you some stuff that will occur on the test. But in addition to that, I also am going to kind of go through section by section, giving you a checklist of all the things that you need to be able to know how to do for the test. The test will never ask you to do anything that isn't on this list. So this right here can be a fantastic checklist. You can go through each section and just say, graphs to know. That was a document in the Exam 1 materials folder. It was right here. These are graphs I need to know. I should know the shapes of all of those graphs and be able to plot at least 2 points on each of those. I need to be able to do that. And if I lose points on the first exam because I didn't know how to do that, well, I don't know what to tell you, right? Because you kind of saw it coming right here. So this is a great way to help make sure that you're preparing for exams. Go to the study guide, look at what the list of topics are, and treat it like a checklist. Make sure you're actually able to do each one of these individual things. Now, in addition to that, I'll also suggest studying for exams requires that you sit down in a quiet place for sometimes even hours at a time, trying to go through and practice questions. Don't confuse looking at material for studying material. You have to make sure that you are practicing like you're going to be taking an exam. So that means, can you complete problems from worksheets, from homeworks, without any additional aid and only what you know? Can you go through and work through questions? If the answer to that is yes, then great, you're probably ready on that content. But if the answer is no, then you might need to spend more time practicing certain ideas. This is why I will often advise starting to prepare for an exam about a week before it occurs. So here, on the third Friday of the semester, I'm going to recommend that you get your scheduling your studying schedule, if you will, in order. Start figuring out what you're going to cover each day. Make use of the weekends so that way when that exam comes around, you're ready to go. So these are some of at least my basic tips, and of course if you have questions throughout the semester or would like to try to study for the exam together in terms of going over problems together, by all means, please let me know.